The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is, once again, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, and I'm your host, Bill Knapik. We're excited to have you join us. Thank you for joining us. This is show number 532. That is the serial number of this show. And always feel free to tune in to stewart.com/radio. That's right, where you can see this show again. You can see it on the YouTube channel as well as access past shows simply by going to stewart.com/radio. We have a fantastic show. Tremendous guests abound once again on Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. So let's get started and get down to business as we welcome Sarah Flores and Marilette Villapando. They are with Keller Williams Summit. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for
having us.
I love the energy. It is kind of a Marilette, Sarah, and a Keller Williams energy all rolled into one.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, first of all, Sarah, let's tell people about Keller Williams Summit.
Yes, so Keller Williams Summit is our new market center that just opened up near 45 South and Beltway 8, right off of Fuquay. And we are now servicing the South Houston and Pasadena area all the way down to Galveston.
And Sarah, let's tell people your role with the company because you are more than just a real estate professional.
Absolutely. I am a productivity coach with Keller Williams.
So we could be extra productive on this show today, I'm feeling.
For sure.
In the role of productivity coach, give us a quick word of what that entails in addition to helping buyers and sellers.
As a productivity coach, I am assisting the agents at Keller Williams to produce and show them that they can work this industry for their benefit.
And Marilette, let's tell people your role at Keller Williams.
Of course. I'm Marilette, and I'm the team leader and broker associate at Keller Williams Summit. So as the team leader, what my job is to create the best and most productive space for realtors to run their business.
And this is at the Keller Williams Summit. And how many agents are there, as both of you have leadership roles, it sounds like? Yep. How many agents are you serving in those capacities?
Of course. So we haven't even opened up doors yet, and we are at 75 agents. So we service anyone that's looking to do business between South Houston and Galveston.
So the doors aren't open yet?
Not open yet.
Wow.
Literally brand new.
Brand new. That's so exciting. And I guess that speaks to the growth of not just Keller Williams, but to the growth of Houston, Texas.
Absolutely. I mean, we are always looking to bring in new agents and show people that we're here to service them. So again, this is our first market center that is out there in that area.
Well, let's go to your role, Sarah, about productivity, because as we talk to realtors here on the show all the time, there are so many things the real estate professional needs to do. They need to create business. They have to adhere to all the rules, TREC and otherwise. But what is the thing in productivity where the agent might come to you or you address in your training as far as the biggest challenges in getting business?
Picking up the phone. Picking up the phone is the biggest challenge for most agents.
Is it too hot to handle, or what's the deal? Just pick it up.
I just think that they're nervous. They don't really know what to say, and they overthink it. It's just like having a conversation, with your neighbor or a friend or a family member. Just getting the word out there and letting them know who you are, and being able to explain what you do and how you can service them.
Because I would think if I were a real estate agent out there, the hardest part would be to find new business.
Correct.
And number two, the backdrop is there are a lot of agents out there trying to do the same thing. So what do you tell them? How do you zero in on that?
So I ask them to, give me some ideas on what they're able to do different from everybody else. I want to know what their value add is to the community. What makes you different? What's going to make you stand out? above everyone else. And most of the times, when I talk to them, they do something completely different. Oh, I'm a cook, I'm a bake, I'm this, I'm that. And those are the things that I tell them. This is where you start the conversation and where you open up dialogue and then, refer it back to real estate somehow, some way. Don't be nervous about it.
In fact, everything you just mentioned, and there are more, are opportunities to connect.
Correct.
And Marilette, as team leader, as far as the agents that you have on board with the 70-some, 75 or so, has your role been in recruiting as the team leader also?
So one thing, because I always get asked this, is what do you do? How are you growing the office? And for us, we're very selective with the agents that come on board. So we actually interview every single person that comes on to make sure that they align with our culture, because that's something that's super important to us. So I would say yes, recruiting, but we think of it as growing our real estate family. We want to make sure we're in business with people that we like. So yeah.
If let's say I'm an agent and I'm thinking, well, there's 6 different brokers I'm looking at or whatever. What are some of the things that you would tell me as to why, assuming that I might even be a fit? I probably wouldn't be, just saying. But if I even had the opportunity, what would be the things that you would tell me that might say, hey, you're going to align with us and you should align with us because of these reasons?
Yep. So our bigger value propositions that we lead with is we do have multiple bilingual brokers in the market center. We do have in-house legal counsel in case, you never want to use them, but if you have to.
So you do at the office there?
Yep. And then we also have compliance, powerful CRM, where agents are able to run drip campaigns at no additional cost. We do have a compliance coordinator. All the compliance has 24-hour turnaround, which is super important for agents in order to get paid. We do have training offered on Zoom, in person, and recorded for anyone that's dual career and needs to access that after hours. And we like to have fun. So that's something important too. You want to connect and we want to make our market center sticky. And what that means is we want you to have a connection with our leadership team. I think it's easy to feel like just another number at any other brokerage. But for us, it's important that we know where you are, what your business is, and where you want to be.
And that's a good point. In anything, any profession, where we want to be, where we want to get to is so important. The compliance director that you mentioned, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, like part of their role would be is if I have a contract, the contract has so many words and so many. We're in a contract. It's an important document. Does the compliance person go over that with each deal to help prevent issues and
every
problems?
single file is looked at by our compliance coordinator, and if the agent has any questions, they're able to call during the office hours or even on the weekend, because realtors don't just do business Monday through Friday 9 to 5. You've got questions on the weekend as well, and we're here to service you for that.
So if I said to you, I want to be a realtor so I would have a whole flexible schedule and a lot.
Well, see, every agent that comes in, their first contact is with Sarah. And the first thing that she does is she looks at where you're at and what is your schedule, and then how can you get to where you want to be.
And of course, everybody has a different schedule, and we can be productive.
She's not easy, though. She doesn't go easy on you.
I could see that. And speaking of Sarah, so what do you say about that, Sarah?
Well, the thing is that I think anybody needs an accountability partner. Everybody needs some sort of a mentor. And in order to be able to grow in this industry, you need somebody to hold you accountable, and you need to have some sort of mentorship in order to be able to get to your goals.
We're talking with Sarah Flores and Marilette Villapando. Ladies, as far as Marilette, as far as what got you into real estate to begin with, you could do a lot of things and be great at, but what was it about real estate where you said, man, this is for me?
So it wasn't really real estate. It was Keller Williams specifically. I attended Quantum Leap when I was a junior in high school, and I told myself I'm never leaving this company. It doesn't matter where it is here, but this is where I am.
Well, that's a big endorsement. I hope Gary Keller is listening. I know he's a big listener, but...
Yeah, so that's it. I took Quantum Leap, and then I actually started doing closing gifts for the largest real estate office in San Antonio, Keller Williams Heritage. And then I got my start into launching market centers, and that's where I got my enter through the door for Keller Williams.
And Sarah, for you, what was it about real estate that you said, hey, this is for me?
I had a bad experience.
We've just heard that about 4 times in the last 2 months.
I had a bad experience with a realtor when I was purchasing a house years ago. And the one thing that she said was, oh, go ahead, break that lease. You don't need to worry about it. You're buying a house. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense
Just go ahead
to me.
and break the lease. No
yeah,
big
that's
deal.
what she told me. And so then I was like, okay. So then I started looking at houses and I was like, I don't think I feel comfortable breaking the lease. And she was like, oh, we're going to go look at a couple of houses. Let's go ahead and pick one because you got pre-approved. And the next thing I know, she's like, hey, I'm going to lock up. Here's the key. You're going to buy this house. Don't worry about it. We're going to go to closing. So here's the key. I'm like, don't you think that person next needs to have that key in order to open the door? And that was my experience. It just was not a good experience
So
at
the
all.
light bulb was going off in your head.
All the red flags just going off. I didn't even know anything about real estate at the time, but I knew it was something that it didn't sit well with me, and how many agents out there are working with clients that it wouldn't sit well with them either.
And here you are, a decade, if I recall what we talked about before the show, a decade into your life as a real estate professional. What has surprised you the most about being in this profession on the positive side?
The good thing about being in this business, there's always opportunity. Always opportunity, no matter where you go. And you're always able to get the education and support that you need. This real estate community is a big family. As much as everybody says, oh, Houston is one of the largest cities, it really is. But in our community, everybody knows everybody. So you're always able to get support, whether you're on the real estate side, lending side, title side.
And Sarah, let's tell people how they can reach you. Any buyers or sellers, they may want to reach out to you.
Absolutely. So you can reach me at 832-628-4405. And my email address is sarah@thehtxrealtor.com.
And the phone number again is?
832-628-4405.
And Marilette, before we close the segment, what else do you want people to know?
So if you are interested in becoming a realtor and maybe the cost of the classes is a barrier of entry, we do offer scholarships for you to be able to get your real estate license, and there's no catch. You don't have to join our brokerage. We hope that you will, but you are able to get the cost of your classes covered.
And there may be someone that joins your team, Marilette, that's excited about Keller Williams as much as you and never wants to leave.
I hope so, but that's our way to give back. We want to help the community.
And as a matter of fact, I think it's quite contagious. So, Marilette, let's tell people, I'm starting to like to say the word Marilette a whole lot. Let's tell people how they can reach you.
Sure. So if you'd like to contact me, please reach out at 210-556-5722. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. My name, Marilette Villapando. 210-556-5722.
Thank you guys for being with us.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Let's talk about money with Omar Enriquez. Omar is with Amegy Bank, leading the charge in affordable housing as a loan officer. Omar, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
It's always fun to talk about money, Omar.
It certainly is.
Well, let's tell people your role at Amegy Bank.
So I'm a community lending officer with a focus on affordable housing. I'm part of a team that helps people buy their first home, or a focus of buying houses in low, moderate income census tracts or majority minority census tracts throughout the city.
So as far as affordable housing, give us a little bit more detail as to what it is and why was it even established to have affordable housing?
Sure. So when you hear the term affordable housing, it's mainly making reference to making the dream of home ownership available to folks across a spectrum of income, specifically with an area of maybe 80 to 100% of the median income throughout Harris County or Houston, the Houston area. Affordable housing was basically a series of initiatives were started as far back as the 1930s when FHA, or the Federal Housing Authority, was created. Later on, there were equal opportunity acts that were created to give people equal access to money, fair housing where they could live, where they could afford to live, and just extending to Americans the opportunity of owning their own home. And in some cases, ending cycles of rental and allowing people to achieve the dream of home ownership.
And I would think, and you probably see this every day, but there are segments of the population where they're in a, I like how you put that, there's a cycle of renting. Yes. And I would think there are people, couples and or individuals that think, man, I'll just keep renting. And they may not realize that they're able to buy a home. So you address those people, I guess, in your marketing and also as far as what Amity Bank does.
That's correct. Amity Bank has a long history of working in the affordable housing space in the greater Houston area. So we work in conjunction with, for example, the city of Houston, Harris County, to provide various HUD-backed grants that can help people cover down payment assistance as well as various costs to close. And a lot of times that's a big barrier for most people to overcome, correct? I mean, the payment is the biggest challenge. So, for example, we have an opportunity the city of Houston extends for people to buy a home with up to $125,000 in down payment assistance. And that can make a payment very affordable for someone. There also, Harris County is building a series of homes at reduced prices with the expectation that the home buyer meets certain income criterias and eligibilities. But we live in a very robust real estate market here in Houston, and luckily we've had some local government administrations with focuses on getting folks into their first home.
Going back to the $125,000 down payment, is that something that's paid back, or is that just part of the program? That's a great deal.
It is a great deal, and the great part about it is for the qualifying home buyer, as long as they live in the home for 5 years, it's a forgivable grant. So,
wow.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, and then as far as the criteria for the person or family that can get this grant, so to speak, what do they have to? What's their profile?
So what they would do is they would apply with the city of Houston. They would provide various income documentation, and depending on the size of the household, would set the income limits. So what you would do is you would total and audit different streams of income going into the home, also count the number of people in the household, and then there's a series of grids that are provided by HUD depending on household size, and that determines the income limits. And the 125 totals a down payment assistance grant from the city of Houston for up to $50,000, and then another $75,000 that's being extended to folks who lived in the taxable jurisdiction of Houston during Harvey. And you can stack those two, and that's how you would total up to $125,000. That's
magnificent.
That's excellent. I mean, Mayor Whitmire has made a priority of affordable housing to be, a top priority. Mayor Turner did as well. So I would have to say, proudly as a proud Houstonian, it is a huge priority for us to continue to build homes throughout the city and make them affordable for folks to own a home.
And once again, as you are here with us on the radio and all the other platforms this goes out to, it's going to be good that there's, again, people that may not know about this opportunity, and we're spreading the word right now.
We absolutely are. I think it's great to be in a real estate landscape where not only the banking community but local government kind of team together, and it is definitely it's financial services, but I think it's just community service in general, just helping some of these folks work through this. We have also a very well structured and organized nonprofit sector that helps folks qualify for that, helps them align their finances, build assets so that they can own a home as well. So as the old saying says, it takes a village, but we're definitely lucky to have folks dedicated to that here in Houston.
And of course, you've given one example, but it sounds like there are other things and other components to helping people with the first-time loan and the first-time home and things like that.
Absolutely, there are. We wouldn't be able to do it without our real estate community and our real estate professionals. No, there are folks that are very passionate about not only educating but qualifying their home buyers, showing them homes that can help them make that step from renter to home buyer. And as I mentioned, we have very passionate realtors here in the greater Houston area that specifically work with first-time home buyers.
And again, sounding like great opportunities. We hope people hear about this that didn't know, but also here we are in Houston and in Texas. Just out of curiosity, do other states, other cities have these things, or is this something unique to our city and our current administration and even the past administration?
Well, it's definitely something we're very proud of here in Houston, but it's not exclusive to the greater Houston area. I mean, throughout the country, HUD provides funding for various municipalities to provide this sort of funding to folks, especially with this huge national emphasis on affordable housing. So not just in major cities, but just in cities throughout the country and throughout the states. So, I mean, it's all of us pushing together in the same direction.
Sounds very exciting. Also, and we're talking about it currently as we're here in 2025. Do you see any changes in this in terms of other opportunities in 2026, or do you think these programs will continue as they are or maybe even be enhanced?
No, I think that there's a well-established history of dedication to this sector. Home ownership makes sense for many, many lines of business. So, and you'll see it continue to be an important part of any initiatives here nationally. So I'm looking forward to even more as a real estate professional.
And as you're helping clients, I would think part of your compensation would be the fact that after they move into the home and you talk to them again, especially the person or family that was in the cycle of rent, do they ever say, Omar, I'm so glad you told us about this, or we wouldn't have known if it...
No, I mean, absolutely. I've been in banking since 1999 when I came home from the Navy. And I started as a 17-hour teller and then held several positions, but I was attracted to mortgage lending and specifically affordable housing because it was an opportunity to educate people on how to leverage their assets, how to build generational wealth, and how to own homes. The process is different for everyone. Some people do a lot of homework, or maybe are fortunate to come from a home culture where finance is stressed. Others, not so much. And so there's a skepticism, right? It's very difficult. No one in my home has ever owned a home. So there are those efforts to educate and, encourage people to do so. I have always gravitated toward it because there's a component of service to it. And I honestly believe that, as a person who grew up in a home that was owned, there's a certain feeling of ownership that you grow up with when you grow up in a home that your parents or your family owns. I wanted to be able to help other folks to achieve that as well. I mean, there's a certain feeling of empowerment that comes with that. So that education, that resilience is something that continues, I think, positively contributes to the American fabric, right? And it contributes to our local community. So it's something that, frankly, I get up every morning, I'm ready for the challenge. Some folks have a little more work to do, but they're engaged, and those are the clients. It's very rewarding to work with clients like that.
We're talking with Omar Enriquez with Amegy Bank, United States Navy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, all veterans that are listening. Thank you for your service.
It's my pleasure.
What did you find in the military? I have not served, but I know in all the branches I admire the training and the components, basic life lessons that can be learned. What did you learn in the military rigors that help you in business today?
Well, quite a great variety of things, especially first and foremost, a sense of patriotism and the sense of contributing to other citizens, but also just the structure and how important a routine and consistency is. I mean, after all, I was on an aircraft carrier for almost 4 years.
Oh, man, we could do 5 hours on that. You lived on an aircraft carrier.
I did indeed.
Dude.
I did indeed.
Wow.
I did two 6-month cruises in the Mediterranean. Salute to all those who have served on the USS Theodore Roosevelt. But it was a day in and day out, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and you just continued doing the same thing because at the end of the day, everyone was playing a part to be battle ready. So I take a lot of that and put it into the work that I do, routines and regimen and follow-up. It's all been a backbone to the work that I do.
What a tremendous advantage. Was that the same aircraft carrier that Tom Cruise was landing his planes on?
It may have been. I have to go back and check.
But talk about a whole nother worldly atmosphere. An aircraft carrier, most of us can't imagine. I can't imagine.
5,500 people.
It's gigantic, I imagine.
It is. It's the length of several football fields. And Space is at a premium. Chow is abundant for all. And,
Wow.
every now and then we pull into ports, and it was fantastic. It's probably one of the most rewarding experiences.
Omar Enriquez, thank you once again for your service. Omar, if someone needs help, let's tell people how they can reach you.
Not a problem. I can be reached, again, Omar Enriquez with Amity Bank. I can be reached at 832-282-OMAR, and that's 832-282-6627. It's a mobile number. I can also be reached there via text, or I can be emailed at omar.enriquez@Amity Bank. 832-282-6627 or 832-282-OMAR.
Call Omar. Hey, so one last question on the aircraft carrier. How big was the sleeping quarters? Was it a cot that's hanging on something, or I can't imagine?
Well, I'm 6'2", and there's probably 6'3" in length. You have to stay really still and sleep on that, but it's about that, and they were stacked 3 high.
How cool!
So,
Omar, thanks for being with us.
my pleasure. Thank you.
Anchors away.
Anchors away, my boys.
As we continue, let's talk to Ashley De Leon. She is with Surge Realty doing tremendous work 24/7. Ashley, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Let's tell people about your company, Surge Realty.
Thank you. So, yes, Surge Realty is more family oriented. We are a smaller brokerage. There's about 50 agents with us. So I also used to do the events and classes and whatnot. So I was able to meet a lot of people as I do that. But I've been with them for about 4 years and I've been in real estate for almost 5.
And let's tell people geographically where you're spending most of your time helping buyers and sellers.
Yeah, so I work all of Houston, but I live in Pearland. I grew up on that side of town, and I really focus on the southeast part of Houston.
Well, the Southeast, just really pretty much every place in Houston, it's expanding and growing. Let's tell people a little bit, Ashley, about the growth that is expanding to the south in the Pearland area.
Oh, absolutely. So I don't know if you know, but since the Great Wolf Lodge has been built over there, there's been so many things that have come up, including pickleball places. Everybody loves pickleball.
Loves it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's growing a lot in the Baybrook area. So a lot of my clients, when they ask me where should I move and where's the real estate market growing, that's exactly where I send them, especially League City. League City has a really low tax rate, and that's something that I love for my buyers because now their purchasing power has gone up.
I'm a big fan of low tax rates because it's so important, that particular cost. But as far as the Wolf Lodge, now, what is the Wolf Lodge? Because some people, including me, don't know. Is that a hotel or what?
Yeah, so it's an indoor playground pretty much for kids and adults. They have like the water park and whatnot. I personally haven't even been there, but I've heard a lot about it. And again, since that's been built, everything around it in that area is up and coming.
Interesting. Now that you mention it, so many parts of Houston, especially that southeast, as you get close to Galveston, have what we'll call attractions to bring people in the area.
Absolutely. So like Dickinson, Santa Fe, League City, Clear Lake, Webster, Friendswood, all of that area. There's several different big bars like Kirby Ice House or Little Woodrow's and places that people would want to go and just hang out with their friends and whatnot. And that also include things and activities for the kids. That's a lot of what's being built over there.
And in your work, you're helping both buyers and sellers, right?
Correct.
At this moment, let's say in the last month or so, are you more buyers or more sellers? How's the balance?
Definitely more buyers. It's more on the buyer side. But I will say, I've run into multiple offer situations lately, just depending on where the home is located, price point and whatnot. But I'm heavily more so on the buyer side.
And when we think about the multiple, we haven't heard a lot about that lately, a little bit, but if you were to look at a multiple offer situation in your mind, what would make someone put multiple offers on a home? Like if I want to list my house, that would be a dream, right, to have multiple offers. Mm-hmm. But what do you think the components are if you were to kind of analyze it?
Definitely pricing the home correctly. A lot of sellers think that we're still in COVID times and they want over asking and whatnot. And you can't list that way these days. You actually need to list a little under market value to get to a multiple offer situation. Now, the average sales point these days is anywhere $350 and up. Now, if you are purchasing 300 and below, that's where we're starting to see a lot of multiple offers, especially now that the interest rates are going down. If you come across a home that's been nicely renovated and the seller has purchased or priced it correctly, that's where you're running into some multiple offer situations.
So that's the key, because a lot of homeowners probably think, oh, I want to get as much as I can, so I'm going to price it. But it sounds like the key is to have it that psychological level where it's just a little bit under, where it makes it more compelling, I guess, what happens.
Absolutely. So, and that's what I tell a lot of my sellers, like, look, hey, here's what your home is worth. But at the end of the day, we are not in a seller's market. We are in a buyer's market. So we need to act as such. Thinking outside the box with marketing as well is a huge key for a listing agent. For example, like staging or open house marketing. You can't just put an open house sign and expect that people are going to show up. So it's really about thinking outside the box as well.
It's funny you're reading my mind, because I was just going to bring up staging.
Yes.
And because I would think, how often is staging, if it's done right, is so important. That could be the difference. Someone seeing 5 homes and there's the one that just looks.
Absolutely. So, I equate it to when you walk into a model home and a new construction property and it's like, oh my God, wow, this house looks beautiful. It smells amazing. It's nicely staged. That's something that I want the buyers to experience on my listings. So I do the same thing for my sellers. When they hire me, they get good quality work, and I will stage the property as such. I even put as small as like wall plugs, because again, when you walk into new construction homes, it's that,
Everything's new. Yeah.
Everything's new. It smells amazing. So I do the same for my sellers.
So in the buyer's adventure, whether it's an individual, a family, when you're helping a buyer in that scenario, about how many homes do they look at per outing, let's say?
I would say that just, it differentiates, because some of them can be very picky, and the husband and wife can be on 2 separate pages. The husband could love it and the wife's like, and then vice versa. And then I have the couples where they're like, all right, we're ready to move. Let's just look at these 5 houses and we'll make a decision. So it truly depends on the buyers, but I like to also set expectations. So I'll have a consultation and I'll go through their must-haves, their wants, their needs. And in the event that they're not on the same page, I go back to that. Like, hey, look, based on the conversation that we had in the very beginning, here's what your wants and needs are. We've seen 10 houses, and a couple of these houses have checked off a lot of those boxes. So what do we need to adjust here? Do we need to adjust expectations, or do we need to adjust your must-haves or your wants and your needs? So it really depends on the buyers.
You just hit something very important, and that is, because no home's perfect.
Yes.
I mean, there's always something. I know as a buyer myself from time to time, no home is, but I like how you used the word. It's so important, adjust. Mm-hmm. Because we have to adjust every day in life depending on what happens. But in the home search, you have to do that. It sounds like you have a nice methodical way to work with your buyers.
Absolutely. So I used to play sports. I played sports since I was 4 years old. I still coach sports. So I live through my girls. I coach a softball team. I've been coaching for the last 4 years, and it's something that I'm truly passionate about. But sports taught me a lot of things that I could take off of the field, and that includes pivoting. That includes working as a team. That includes empowering each other. So the conversations that I have with my buyers, the way that I go about with my contracts, wouldn't say aggressive, but I like to structure the contracts and my offer based on what my client's needs are, but also maybe a little appealing for the seller as well. So it's just all about pivoting and learning how to work with both teams. Get the job done.
And as you say that, as we're in football season, what happens after each play? There's a huddle a lot of times.
Yes.
And constantly adjustments are being made because the goals, we're trying to win, we're trying to find the right, all these things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I also own a pool and patio business as well. And that's something that ties into my real estate, because I'll have some buyers that want to build a pool and a patio. And I know whenever you're building those, a pool and a patio, I need to look at as simple as how big or how wide the side fence is, because the smaller it is, the more money it's going to cost them. So let's look at that. Let's look at the survey. Let's look at the easements, the build line and whatnot. So, or if you want to purchase a house that already has a pool, let's look at the cost of what it would cost to renovate it versus buying a house and building a brand new pool. So that's something that I also incorporate.
Okay, so tell me about the part where if it's smaller, it costs more.
Yes. So
See, I don't get it. Tell me.
So the smaller the fence is, the smaller the entryway it is, the smaller of equipment that we have to rent out to get the job done.
Oh, yeah. You got to get equipment back there, too.
Exactly. So if the smaller the equipment is, the more times that we're having to build dirt and bring it out, the more people we have to hire, so the more expensive it is for the buyer. Now, if you have an 8-foot wide entrance, your equipment is a little bit bigger, so it's less work, so a little bit less cost.
Now, what's the name of this fantastic company?
Costamar Pools and Patio.
Say it again.
Costamar Pools and Patio.
So I would think if someone in this world wants a pool, they're going to get a patio too.
Yes.
Okay.
And we do both, because a lot of times that we've found is companies don't do both. They'll just subcontract it out.
So it's company distinction.
Correct. And we're small business, family owned, so we take pride in that.
I just want a patio. I don't want to have to put any chemicals in anything. So.
That's fine. We could do that too.
So I could have a patio with the kitchen and relaxing areas, scenic thing.
Absolutely.
That sounds great. Again, the company is called
Costamar Pools and Patio.
And I would think this puts you in a great opportunity as you help, especially buyers, to say, hey, look what we can do for X dollars or about X dollars to improve. Because to me, inside the home is massively important, but what's outside and around it is the same.
Absolutely. So we like to say we are building your paradise in your backyard. Because if just fall weather is beautiful or spring weather, it's beautiful. You know, a lot of people want to sit outside, enjoy coffee on their patio, and or they like to host gatherings. I host my softball team all the time, and I like to build a bond with them off of the field, because that chemistry plays on the field. And that was really the true reason on why we built our pool and patio, is to be able to do that for our kids and to build memories with them and to keep them off of the streets. I want the girls at my house having fun versus having to worry about them on the outside.
So important, no doubt about it. Ashley DeLeon with Surge Realty. And what's the website for the pool company and patio company?
Yes, so Costamar Pools with an S, HTX.com.
And you're serving geographically what area with the pool and patio company?
All of Houston.
There you go. And let's tell people how they can reach you, Ashley DeLeon.
Yes, at 832-845-0769. My Instagram is also AshleyD_Realtor, where you can also find my website, which is www.soldbydeleon.com. 832-845-0769.
Ashley, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to go sit on a patio right now and relax. All right. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance, with a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers. Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance.
Howdy, Bill.
Here we are, John. Now we know where to get a pool and a patio.
Pool and a
patio. Either one
yes.
or both at the same time.
Yeah, we can get training, get a pool and a patio, buy a home, and get a loan.
So much in 1 week.
In 1 week, one show, you can take care of everything and close.
And that is the beauty of Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title.
It is. Brought to you by Stewart Insurance.
And here we are, as it is insurance time once again. What should we know, John?
Well, this is number 9 in our series of key insurance indicators. So today we have 10 plus 1 key insurance indicators for cyber liability insurance.
It's a new category.
Yeah, so this is a new category. We've talked about cyber in the past, but within our series, this is the first time we've covered it. There really are, like as I said, 10 plus 1 things to keep in mind when you're considering cyber coverage for your business, whether you be a property management firm or independent title and attorney agent or a real estate broker. The first one is you want to have network security and liability insurance. So that covers any liability costs, any legal costs that you might have. It helps with the cost of settlements. So if there's a settlement due to a data breach or information stolen, you want to make sure that's covered. Ideally, you want to have coverage for both electronic and non-electronic data. So both your electronic files, but maybe even papers. because there are still transactions that take place with paper. So you'll still want to be sure you have that. And if there are any regulatory fines, it helps with those coverage. So you want to make sure you've got that network security. You also want to have coverage. Number 2 would be for business email compromise and social engineering fraud. So social engineering is where somebody pretends to be somebody else. So they pretend to be another firm. They pretend to be a vendor. They pretend to be a lender.
I'm pretending to be a radio host right now.
Yeah, so you're social engineering.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. So that's kind of what it is. And, or if let's say somebody's tricked to send funds to a fraudulent account, it helps with that coverage. So that's where you want to have a fraudulent transfer of funds, or, making sure that the funds transferred, you've got coverage for there. If somebody directly hacks into a system and accesses funds that way, or they intercept funds that way because they physically hacked into a system, you've got to have that. There could be situations where there's correspondence between the escrow and the clients, and if they hack into that system and they get access to those funds. And it also, you would want to make sure, if you can, to have third-party coverage, so that if another party is the reason this has happened, you've got coverage there. So that's number 3. Number 4 is data breach response and notification. So if there is a data breach, how can you handle it? Does it, it'll help with your forensics. So if you've got to have an IT team come in to do some forensics to determine where was the initial current, where did it occur? Where did the hack occur? Was it the responsibility of the real estate broker, or was it somebody else? So having that ability to pay for that, you might need a call center support to notify folks about what's happened. You might have to provide credit monitoring for your client, so the ability to cover that cost. So that's where that would come into play. Number 5 is cybercrime coverage. So that helps with things like ransomware, where there's that extortion of payments. Hey, Bill, we have control of your system, and unless you pay me X amount of money, I'm going to release all your clients' information on the dark web. So that's where that you've heard of ransomware. So that's where that comes into play. Is there any damage to the system or the data? So is there cost to restore your systems or data? It can help offset that. Number 7, business interruption. So if your business is shut down, can it offset some of that loss of revenue? So that can be helpful. Or if you're having to go if there's some expenses that you're losing because of this shutdown, it can help offset. So you want to have some business interruption coverage. Number 8 is regulatory defenses and fines. There may be some fines that you occur, or you may have costs of the lawsuit above and beyond maybe just the legal costs. So that can help offset those. So that's important to have. Media liability. So if somebody says that you've got claims against the advertising you did, or there's a copyright infringement, or defamation, they felt like you said something online that hurt their benefit of doing business, or because of the cyber attack, something happened online that said that you defamed somebody, can help offset some of that cost. And we talk about personal injury from time to time, and it's not a broken arm but a broken heart, and that idea of offsetting some of those costs, if that were come into play. And then number 10, third-party vendor coverage. If you can get that, that's really nice to have, because your partners are going to have third-party vendors. Maybe it's a CRM company, or it's an e-signature service that they use. And if those services get hacked, and then they have access to get into your system because those services were hacked, you want to make sure you've got some protection there. So those are the 10 to consider. And then the plus one is always if you have an interest in cyber insurance, or want to learn more about cyber liability coverage, then visit the team at Stewart Insurance, and we can help you with that.
Especially because your company is versed in it. Who else talks about it? This is so important. Stewart Insurance, you guys take a special approach to all things involving real estate, and nothing more is unfortunately so popular in real estate than cyber crimes, unfortunately, that we're hearing about. All these years we're hearing about it more and more and more.
But it's true. I mean, our mission is to be the insurance resource for real estate. I mean, that's our focus every day. And we just, literally we try to be, as Tom Carpentier, our president, says, an inch wide and a mile deep. So we have really 2 areas that we focus on. We work with families and individuals for their personal insurance. So helping them with their home, their wind, their auto, whether it's the first time they bought a home or the 7th home they bought. we can work with them on their home insurance to make sure that they're properly insured. And the other side of the house is where we're working with real estate firms on their business insurance. So cyber liability coverage, general liability, errors and omissions policy. So very focused firm in and around real estate.
So awesome. John, what else should we know?
Well, if you would like to be properly insured, and all that means is that the coverage you have makes sense for where you or your business is at this point in its life, and you're comfortable with the coverage you have and the coverage that you don't have, then you understand that. Then in our world, you're properly insured, and we would love to have that opportunity, whether it be for your personal insurance or your real estate business insurance. And you can reach us at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. Learn more about us at stewartinsurance.com and email us at stewartinsurance.com. And we work with clients, both business and personal, all over the U.S.
And John, if there's any veterans from the United States Navy or any other branch of the armed services listening, what number should they call?
We have a special U.S. Navy branch hotline, and that's 866-798-2827.
John, thanks for being with us.
Always a pleasure, Bill.
As we continue, our business development people are so important to the real estate community right here in Houston, Texas, and Stewart Title and beyond. Right now, we have Brittany Hernandez serving Stewart Title right there in Pearland, the land of Paris. Brittany,
Always.
welcome to the show.
Hey, Bill, it's always good to see you. I know you missed me this last month.
It seems like it's been a long time, but because people want to hear when you're on the show, they say, oh, man, I like the person from Pearland a lot.
That's what we want to hear, right?
It's exactly what we want to hear.
Because it's Brittany.
Because it's you. And right now, in Stewart Title, Pearland, what's going on there? Give us a quick word.
It's getting busy. You know, the market's up, it's down, but we as business development officers are trying to stay busy. We are constantly meeting with agents and trying to feed them the knowledge that we have to help their businesses grow. I've been really busy doing lots of one-on-ones with agents, teaching them our Google Business Managers. Well, not our Google Business Manager, but teaching them all about Google Business, because a lot of them don't know that it's a free tool right at their fingertips to get their business out there online.
And that's the key for people listening as far as representing our title company, Stewart Title. Yeah. You're a resource. It's not just, hey, let's go to lunch. It's your total resource to help their business.
Use us, because we are there to add value to your business, and that's what we want to be. We want to be your go-to people. I love the marketing aspect of this life. I'm a photographer as well, so I'm able to do the fun stuff, but also do the education part of it. We have our new Palm Agent app that we are showing all of our clients as well, because it's something right at their fingertips they're able to use for sellers net sheets and all the tools that they'll need to get them to the closing table.
Only title company with a radio show.
That is one really good.
No doubt about it. Well, Brittany, there's so many great things. Let's tell people, if there's a real estate professional out there listening and they say, hey, I want to know about those tools. I'm doing well, but I can enhance my process. Yeah. Let's tell them how they can reach you.
So
Brittany
they
Hernandez.
can reach me at 832-728-7646. You can also find us online, Facebook, where we have all of our events, all of the fun classes we're teaching through the year at Stewart Title Pearland. And my number again is 832-728-7646.
Brittany, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Bill.
As we continue right now from Pearland to the center almost of the city, Kirby Grove, Stewart Title, Juliana Bareford is with us right now.
Hi,
Juliana,
Bill.
Hey,
thanks for having me.
Well, here you are. Kirby Grove. Let's tell people, some people may think, well, where is that? But it's in the center, kind of, sort of, left-hand side of the city.
Yeah, it's right inside the loop. We overlook Levy Park at Richmond and Kirby.
It's a very nice part of town, by the way.
Oh, it's a very nice part of town, yes.
You're conducting classes there on a regular basis also to help real estate professionals in really one of our most beautiful offices. They're all beautiful, but that Kirby Grove is something.
It really is. And yes, we do a lot of CE classes. As a matter of fact, Sarah Flores, who was one of our first guests, is one of my frequent instructors.
Well, that's great. So she's enjoying it there as well. A lot of people hear about it. Juliana, what else should we know about anything coming up for the end of the year, or you're planning already, I would imagine, on 2026?
Yep, I sure am. But we have a really cool class on Wednesday, the 22nd. It's kind of a Halloween-themed class, but it's on haunted houses or how to manage properties with a dark past. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think Sarah's going to come back in and teach probably either legal or contracts before the end of the year. And just, like Brittany said, we're out meeting with agents and showing them some of the tools to help them grow their business.
That's kind of a unique class. That's the first time
It's
I've
really
heard
cool.
of
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
a very seasonal class.
It is, yes.
The phone number again, Juliana, is
346-561-8471. 346-561-8471.
Juliana. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Bill.
And now, speaking of Sarah Flores and Marilette Villapando, they are now back. Ladies, welcome back.
Thank you.
We're back.
Well, here you are. So before we close the show here, first of all, Sarah Flores, let's tell people again, Keller Williams Summit, you're doing tremendous work there.
I am able to help them grow their business 100% by taking them, with little to no experience and showing them exactly how to run the business, for themselves as an entrepreneur. Because I think a lot of times these agents that are in the business forget that this is not a regular 9 to 5. And so I have to coach them on showing them how to be able to run their business like it's brand new. 832-628-4405. 832-628-4405.
And Marilette, here it is. Let's tell people what you want them to know as we close the show.
Yes. So if you are not licensed and looking to get licensed, or you're looking to buy, sell, or invest with the best realtors between South Houston and Galveston, reach out to us at 210-556-5722. 210-556-5722.
Marilette Villapando. So nice to see you guys. Thanks for being with us. And now he is back, Omar Enriquez with Amagi Bank. Omar, welcome back.
It's an exciting time to buy a new home. There's a growing landscape of affordable homes throughout the area, the city of Houston. There are excellent programs here in our landscape, both by the city and Harris County. So this is a great time to look into a home. Best way to get the process started is just take the first steps. Contact a local real estate professional, a local lender, and get qualified. And
let's tell people how to reach you, Omar Enriquez.
Absolutely. Omar Enriquez from Amagi Bank. I can be reached at 832-282-OMAR. 832-282-6627. And we're here to help you make your home dreams of home ownership come true.
Thank you, Omar, and thank you again for your service in the United States Navy, and thank you all that are veterans listening. She is back with patios, pools, and real estate buyers and sellers, and Pearland, and all areas around there.
Yes.
I didn't cover everything, Ashley, but just a few things. The Whistle, Ashley De Leon, Surge Realty. What else should people know, Ashley?
Yeah, so I'm a all one package. We got pools and patios. We have real estate. You have a coach. You have a women entrepreneur, inspiring woman. I do truly love to inspire other women. So that's another thing I enjoy doing. But yes, I'm all in one package: pools, patios, and real estate.
It's a lot to take in. It's just sinking in.
I haven't even gone to the community
I
work.
can imagine there's so much more to talk about. However, but it sounds like other than these things that you're doing, being involved in the community, like many realtors all over the place, being involved, you have a lot of strategic ways to be involved.
Absolutely. So coaching is my main thing. But truly, I don't really talk real estate with my people. They know what I do. I'm one that I don't like pushing it on them. When they're ready, and if they're ready, then hey, I'm here to help. So whenever they're ready,
The phone number to reach you, Ashley De Leon, is
832-845-0769. Again, 832-845-0769.
Favorite title company?
Stewart Title.
Ashley, that's a great way to end the show. Thank you for saying that, and thank you all for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik, together with John Bramlett, all of us at Stewart Title and Stewart Insurance. We certainly appreciate you listening to the show. You never know what's going to happen. Always interesting guests every week. Please be with us next week. And check out Stewart.com/radio. Stewart.com/radio. You can see this show right there. In addition, the show archives. And of course, Radio Bill, the YouTube channel. Easy to remember. Radio Bill. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.